This meeting is being recorded.
Hari Om everyone. I welcome all of you to another Gita session. In this session, we'll be covering Bhagavad Gita Shloka 10.10 and 10.11. This is the second part of the explanation of these two shlokas. The previous class was the first part. Let us begin by first chanting and reading out the meaning of the shloka. I request all of you to keep your back straight and your hands. And Anya, could you please chant the shloka?
Yes, ma'am. teṣhāṁ satata-yuktānāṁ bhajatāṁ prīti-pūrvakam dadāmi buddhi-yogam tam yena upayānti te.
Thank you, Anya. Vivan, could you read the meaning?
Yes, ma'am. To those whose minds are always united with me in loving devotion, I give the divine knowledge by which they can attain me.
Very nice. Thank you, Vivan. Disha, could you please chant the shloka?
teṣhāṁ evānukampārtham aham ajñāna-jaṁ tamaḥ nāśhayāmyātma-bhāva-stho jñāna-dīpena bhaśvatā.
Thank you, Disha. Sohan, could you read the meaning?
Out of compassion for them, I who dwell within their hearts, destroy the darkness born of ignorance with the illumination lamp of knowledge.
Thank you, Sohan. Thank you, everyone. So in the previous session, we saw how we are going to solve 4 puzzles to unravel 1 mystery. And in the previous session, we looked at 2 of the puzzles. So let's start with puzzle 3. This is a very interesting one, which is called What is the Connection? So this is perhaps the puzzle that will need all of you to listen to it very attentively. So we'll have 3 stories, very interesting stories, and you'll have to find a connection or a similarity between all these stories. Before I begin, Hriday, do you have a doubt?
Can my little sister also join the class?
Sure, Hriday. You can, definitely.
Okay.
So let's begin now. Here's the first story. This is the story of a little boy like all of us. So in class, he is told that eating healthy food like fruits, nuts, vegetables, all of this is very good for your body. It helps your body rejuvenate. It keeps you very energetic. It also sharpens your mind. So it has so many benefits. He also goes back home, reads a book about healthy food. He also does some Google research about it. And he is pretty sure and convinced, and he also now knows that there's so many benefits for eating good food, healthy food. Once when he meets a doctor, the doctor also tells him that, listen, you should always eat healthy home cooked food. It's very good for your body. But despite knowing this, sometimes when he looks at some food that's not very healthy, some packed food or some fast food, he gets very tempted. Though he knows that the healthy food is really good for his health and that is what he is supposed to eat, he still sometimes eats junk food. He still sometimes can't control this temptation and he indulges himself in all of these foods that you can see. This is the first story. Here's the second story, which is also of a little girl like all of us. So at school, she's told by her teacher that honesty is the best policy. Should always tell the truth. When someone asks you something, never lie. Tell them all that you know and make sure that that is the truth. Even at home, her parents, her grandparents, all of them tell her through different ways. Sometimes through stories, sometimes they just tell her that, listen, you should always speak truth. But even though she knows all of this and she knows that I should be telling truth and I shouldn't lie, sometimes she still makes up some stories, she lies sometimes because she's very scared or there's some situation where she's not very comfortable telling the truth. This is the second story. Here's the final story. This is the story from a math class. Again, of a little boy like all of us. So when he listens to the math class, his teacher is teaching him some very fun concept, decimals and fractions, and how to convert both of them. So when he listens to it, he is really happy. He knows that he's understood everything because he focused in the class so well. He was not distracted. He made notes. He listened to the teacher very attentively. He's like, I got it. I know what she's telling and I can do this. I can solve this all by myself. I got this concept and he's very happy. But then when he goes home, and he opens the textbook to solve some problems, for some reason he is very confused. He's simply not able to solve it. Though he starts off with full energy, somewhere in between solving the problems, he gets a little confused, he gets stuck, and he's not able to move forward. He's just very confused. Now, this is story number 3. And here's the important question. What is it that is similar between all these 3 stories? Yes, Anya.
The connection is that they're being bad, even though they know they shouldn't be bad. Like you said in the first story, the person was eating junk food even though he knew it was healthy. And the second story, the girl lied even though she knew to tell the truth. And then the third story was like the boy was overconfident that he could do it, but then at home he couldn't do it. So yeah, the connection between these 3 stories are the badness, like the all overconfident those things.
Okay, let's take the third example. Has it ever happened to you that when you listen to the math class and the teacher teaches something and you feel you really understood, but then when you actually solve the problem, you face some difficulty, you're stuck, you ask for doubts. Has this ever happened?
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
in division it has happened to me.
In division it has happened. So just take a minute and think about why is it that when the teacher explained, you felt this is very clear, but when you yourself started solving the problem, you were a little confused about how to go about solving the problem. Okay? Yes, Hriday.
Like when I was solving a maths problem in a perimeter and area, was like I know I thought that I would know that I am very perfect in it and all. When I went home, when Uma ma'am had gave me some homework, I didn't know how to solve it only. I'm asking my mother like so much, what is this? What is this?
Very nice. So, why do you think that happened? Or now, can you think about the similarity between all these 3 stories? I see that someone's named Shaunak Joshi has raised a hand. Do you want to answer?
Sorry, it's Swanandi actually. I couldn't change my name.
Okay, sure, Swanandi, no problem. Yes, Swanandi.
Yeah, what I saw the connection was that in all the 3 stories, like the main character, it has understood or it's aware about how what is supposed to be done and what is not. But until and unless the person acts upon it, or like how the third story he's doing the maths problem, then you're like getting a more clear image about something. Meaning, I want to say that to understand a thing, not only just understanding it is important, but also trying it is important.
Very nice. Excellent, Swanandi. Very good, Hriday and Anya. So let's look at what this puzzle is trying to tell us. Like all of you solved it and great job. So this puzzle is trying to tell us what's the difference between realization and getting established in the truth. So, like the stories that we listen to, all of these characters, they kind of realized the truth and they were aware about the truth. One, I shouldn't eat junk food, or I should eat more of healthy food because that is good for my body. He knew the truth. Second, she knew that I should always tell the truth because that is good and I shouldn't lie about anything. So, again, here she knew the truth. In the third situation, also, there is some realization in terms of, oh, so this is how I can divide a number by another number, or this is how I can convert a decimal into a fraction or a fraction into a decimal. There is a process, and this is how it is. So that is realization of a truth. And what is getting established in the truth? It is to be able to apply, or it's to be able to live with that truth. No matter how difficult the situation is, or no matter how uncomfortable you feel, you still live by it. To give the example of the stories that we discussed, sometimes you may be more tempted when you go out and you look at those different shops, pictures, advertisements. You may feel the need or the temptation. There will be a temptation to go have that food, but when you get established in that truth, you will still choose healthy food. Likewise, the situation may feel scary. You may not want to share something, but still, when you become established in the truth that I should always speak the truth because that is the right thing to do, when the truth is established in you and you start living by that truth, then naturally you start speaking the truth. And the truth that we are all trying to look at here is the truth about my own self. So, who am I? And what is my relation with the world if there is a different world? So, all of this is the truth. Like Bhagavad Gita is a book of truth, right? So, this truth is somewhere within us, it's naturally there. And like we also discussed in the previous few sessions, it's not that the truth is something new and it's coming from outside, but it's already there, but it's just clouded with something else. So there's so many things that's covering the truth, and you're just not able to look at the truth. But the truth is still there, just like this light. It's there, but then there's so many things that's covering that light. And when you slowly remove all of this, you'll help the light shine bright. And that is established, to get established in the truth. You may realize that this is the truth and that is in me and that this is what I should do. But slowly something happens, some magic happens, and you get established in that truth. But what is this magic? And how do I move from realizing the truth to getting established in the truth? This is not something I'm telling you right away. You will realize it a little later. But this is about puzzle 3, to know the difference between realization and getting established in the truth. So you may know the truth, you may be aware of the truth because someone told you, you read it somewhere. You may have that awareness, you may have realized the truth, but it is not the same as getting established in the truth. No matter how much you agree with the truth, you can say, yes, to be honest is the best thing, to eat healthy is the best thing. But until and unless you start living with it, it's still just realization and it's not getting established with the truth. And here comes puzzle 4, which is my favorite out of all the puzzles. And the puzzle is called the cherry on top. Ta-da! So what's this cherry and what is this puzzle? It's really fun. But before that, I want to ask a very simple question. You see this image with with a glass of water. So just a very simple question. Is this pure or impure? Yes, Grihit.
It is impure. It is not.
Very,
Ma'am.
yes,
It's impure.
very nice. Correct, Grihit and Vivan. Great answer. It is impure. And I hope all of you agree. You can show me a thumbs up if you agree. that this glass of water is impure. We'll come back to this, and before we do, here's a very beautiful story I have for all of you. So, once there's this person who's traveling in a car, and as he's riding, all of a sudden he notices something and he stops. Do you all know what he noticed? It's a cute little tiny monkey, but it's injured. So when he looks at this monkey who's very injured, and it's really in a lot of pain, it's bleeding, and you can see by just by the sight of it, you know that there's a lot of pain that this baby monkey is going through, and of course there's no help. So what this person does is that he tries to pick the monkey up to get some medical attention to the monkey. So as he tries to pick it, because he has nothing, because he didn't anticipate that this is going to happen. So how is he supposed to do all of this? How is he supposed to take the monkey to the doctor? So a lot of magic happens in this story. This is a very magical story. So there's a person close by. He brings a towel or a cloth. So they place the monkey on that cloth. There's also a little shop nearby. The shopkeeper comes on his own. He brings a little carton box and they place the monkey inside it. And another person gives a little bit of water, and they help the monkey drink the water because they know that the monkey is lying there for a very long time, so it's probably very thirsty and hungry. So they give it a little bit of water and a little something to eat, and that way they take it to the doctor to help them treat it. So now that you've listened to the entire story, I want you to think about just this one part, that there is this injured monkey, and there is someone who comes and helps this monkey. Just this part about someone who comes and helps this monkey to relieve its pain. Does this part of the story make you happy or sad? Show me a thumbs up if it makes you happy. Just this part where the person helps the monkey. You can also unmute.
Ma'am.
Tell me why does it make you happy? Who wants to answer? Yes, Samsung SM. So there's someone who's named Samsung SM. Do you want to answer?
Is it me?
Yeah, it's you.
I would be happy as the man was the shopkeeper was like helping the person who was trying to take the injured monkey to the hospital.
It makes you happy. Very
Yeah,
nice.
and giving water also.
Yeah, very nice. Very good. Does someone else also want to tell us if it made you happy or otherwise? Yes, Akshat.
It made me happy because the monkey is in need of help and somebody is helping. That's why it made me happy.
Very nice, Akshat. Excellent. And I know all of you are really happy with just that part of the story, right? And here's a secret. So even the person who helped the monkey felt really happy. He also felt really content, and it gave him a lot of happiness. The shopkeeper who helped him also was very happy. The person who helped him with water, who helped him with the towel, was also very happy. There's some children who were looking at all of this. They were also really happy. I'm telling you the story. I'm also really happy, and you're all listening to the story, and you all said that the story made you happy. And that's the reason I called this a beautiful story, because this part where someone helped this monkey, just this one part of the story makes you very happy. But why? Before I answer why, does someone want to guess who that person in the story is? We all know that person. You can take one guess and I'll reveal. A clue, the person is in the class. You can guess. Yes, Sohan.
I think it is Vijayji.
Yeah, you're right. It is, in fact, Vijayji who helped the monkey. So,
But
coming back,
one secret that Manya didn't tell any one of you. Uh, I I I I had couple of children just like all of you who were there to help me to help the monkey. So the real help was by those little children like you.
yes, thank you,
Mom,
Vijay.
can I tell?
Yes, Anya.
Ma'am, it was because I'm happy because it like many people. I'm happy because many people had come to help the monkey. If the people, if the people did not come to help them, then the monkey would have died.
Very nice. So, it just makes us happy that someone helped a monkey. But, like coming back to the question as to why did it make you feel happy, is 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 the puzzle which you all are supposed to solve. So let's look at how we're going to solve this part. But before that, connecting this to the story, there is something that I want all of you to realize with this puzzle. That is when you realize the truth that when you look at this monkey and you want to help that monkey, let's say you saw an injured squirrel on the road when you're cycling and you want to help that squirrel. So you have a really good intention to go help that squirrel. And as you help that squirrel, what is the idea in your mind? It is that there is this squirrel who looks like it needs some help, and I am going to help this squirrel. So even when you do it this way, there is an idea of I am separate and then the squirrel is separate and I'm going to help that squirrel, right? But there is something magical that happens as you help that squirrel. It makes you happy. It makes you feel very content. It relieves you when the squirrel is cured or when the squirrel starts running. It kind of relieves you. It gives you some kind of peace. It makes you happy. And like we also discussed in the previous sessions, why do you feel happy or sad looking at the squirrel? Or when we listen to the story of the monkey getting help, why did it make you happy? It's because you feel naturally for that living being as well. Because you know that it's just the same Krishna in me. It's the same Krishna is also in that squirrel, in that monkey, in all of us. So we are all the same. And that realization happens when you are helping that squirrel. That I and the squirrel, we are not different. We are the same. And by doing service to this squirrel or by helping the squirrel, I'm actually helping the Krishna in the squirrel, which is the same Krishna in me. So I'm actually helping my own self by helping this squirrel. So every time you help someone or you do some seva activity, there's so many different seva activities. When you help a old person cross the road, when you help someone understand a math problem, when you help anybody in any way, there is this very subtle, you may not really think about it consciously, but it's very subtle, and the realization is very subtle, where you get this feeling that I am not different from this other person and I'm actually helping my own self. And this feeling of oneness, this feeling of we are all one or we are all the same family, the animals, the birds, the plants, we're all one, we're not different. This feeling is not something that's coming from outside, it's there within you. Just like the coal, it it already has the potential to burn. When you blow or when there's air, it starts burning, right? Similarly, you already have that feeling, but it's just covered, like we looked at in the previous puzzle. Like you can also see on the screen, it's not clear, but it's through this process that it becomes more and more clear. It starts to get clearer, and you start to see the truth. And that is the secret to how do you move from realization of the truth to getting established in the truth. It is through seva, or it is through selfless service. As you selflessly help others, you start to realize through that process. I can give you another example. You know, coal. So when there's a lot of pressure put on the coal, it becomes a diamond. But the diamond is coal, but it's just that through this process, it realized that it's the diamond. Similarly, through this process, that is, as you keep involving in some selfless service, you start to realize, or you start to truly getting established in the truth. That light which is already in you, which is being blocked by so many things, all of those blockages fall down, and the light that's in you starts shining brightly. And that is the secret to how can you move from just the realization of the truth to getting established in the truth. And in the beginning, I asked you a question. So you all told me, looking at the glass of water, what is it, pure or impure? And you all told me it's impure. So I'm sure you've heard of this process in your school, or you've looked at it in your textbook. How do you purify water? So there are like 3 steps,
Ma'am,
which is one of the ways to purify. Yes, Vivan.
ma'am, like first step, like take the cone kind of thing. What do you call that thing? Put a paper inside. The paper might get wet, but the water will go inside and the dirt will stay up on the paper.
Right. That's the third one, actually. So let me tell you what each of these processes are. First one is sedimentation, where they just let the water settle for some time. They just leave it. So all the impurities, they all go down and settle below. So now that they settle down, they pour all the water on top, which is comparatively more pure. They pour all of it and leave behind those the residues or the impurities. They stay back. But still, there is now this pouring is called decantation, where all of these bigger particles or impurities, now they're gone. But then there's still some little bit of impurity in this water as well. Now they place a filter, and when the water passes through this filter, all the impurities stay behind and the water comes down, it pours down, and the water that's stored here is pure. But now here's a simple question. So I showed you a glass of water before the story, which all of you said was impure. And here's this glass of water, which is very pure. Now, is this water and this water any different? Am I changing this water, or am I bringing something from outside and putting it into this water so it becomes pure? Not really, right? It has some kind of impurities, and by just removing all of these impurities, it becomes pure. But it was naturally very pure. Later on, there were some impurities that got added, and when you remove that, it becomes pure again. And that is purification of water. Purifying one own self is actually very similar, because you are naturally pure in terms of your thoughts, your actions, your intentions. All of it is really pure. You also know the truth, but then as you live in the society, there's so many ideas that start covering that truth about who you truly are. You start getting some identities, like I am this body, or I am a girl, I am from this state or this country, studying in this school. So all of these identities, they start clouding your true self, or the truth of who you really are. So there is no, by realizing the truth, you don't become a different person, but you just remove all of these different impurities, to say all of these untrue things, just to realize your true self. And that is about the fourth puzzle. Now we're done looking at all the four puzzles, and this is the most interesting time, where all the four pieces come together and there is a grand revelation. Here is the puzzle one. Let's quickly recap. I told you, I narrated the story of Manish, who's this really angry boy who's also very arrogant. He steals a bicycle. I hope now you kind of recollect that story. And all of you told me that there are some qualities that are not very helpful. Rather, they're very harmful. And you all identified those qualities. You listed down anger, greed, jealousy, desire. So, 6 of these qualities. Next, I showed you a picture wherein we have Krishna and Kamsa. So I asked you, what is it that differentiates Krishna from Kamsa? We realized that it's in fact these qualities of greed, desire, jealousy. Kamsa has all of these qualities and Krishna doesn't. So that is what differentiates this divine person from a not divine person. Now, let's say I want to be the divine person, or I want the divinity in me to shine bright. So I'll have to get rid of these qualities. Now, how do you get rid of these qualities? We try to understand what the root cause of these 6 qualities, or so-called enemies, so stopping me from being my true self or the divine. What is the root cause of these 6 enemies? And we saw how no matter how different or distinct each of these enemies look like, the root is the same. The wrong answer that we have to this question of who am I? So because I identify myself with this body or mind, I develop these qualities. But by just realizing my true self, to realize that I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, and to realize that I am this light of the self, and to realize that I am no different from the other person and we are all one, just that one realization destroys all of these 6 enemies. In puzzle 3, we looked at the difference between realization and establishment, and how just by realizing the truth, you don't necessarily apply the truth in your life, or it doesn't really help you in your life to get some peace or happiness. Because now we looked at how there is this truth that I am the light of the self, I am the divine, I'm Krishna, and I'm no different from you or any other living beings. But just this realization will not take me far, will not help me as much. I will have to live in that truth, or get established in that truth. But how do I get established in the truth? By involving in some selfless service or some seva activities, which acts like a purification process, which removes all that is covering the truth, all that makes my vision cloudy. It removes all of that, and when all of that is removed, I can now see clearly. I can look at the truth. And that is how I gradually get established in truth. It's more of a practice. Slowly, when you keep doing it repeatedly, then you get established in the truth. And now that we know what each of these puzzles mean, you all can share your understanding as to how you connect all of these 4 puzzles and how do you relate it to the shloka and what you learned. I'd love to listen to all of your understandings. Yes, Sohan.
As per my understanding, you should be having all good qualities in yourself. Kindness, truthfulness, abilities, all should be there in yourself, wherein that you should be confident that I can. not to the great extent that I can do everything. I can, not to the great extent where you are saying that to everyone. You should experience that. If you can, tell it, not I will and I'll get the toppers in exams. You cannot say like that. If you, example, you told that I will get the toppers, that is called as overconfidence. Where you say I will try to get the top in math exam, then Krishna will. If you don't know math, also Krishna will somehow help you. That is what I understand.
Very nice, Sohan. Excellent. So basically, we have these six different sets of qualities that's stopping me from being my true being, or which is clouding the truth. So to remove all of these and also replace these bad qualities with the more divine qualities, like if I lie, then I should speak more of truth. I should be more honest. So to replace each of these qualities or enemies with the good ones will help the divine in me shine more bright, and help me realize the truth and also live with that. Very nice, Sohan. Excellent.
And
Yes,
one more point I would like to add, Manya.
yes.
Sudan, you said that even if I don't know, Krishna will help me, for example, with math. So what it means is when your intentions are pure and you have made your 100% honest effort. It is not that, for example, you sit idle and you watch TV and you expect Krishna to come and help you in the exam. That is not what Krishna is saying. Krishna is saying you do your work 100% with full dedication to help others. With that intention, you do. Then rest, I will take care. Is how we need to understand and use in life. Yes, Manya.
Yes. Thank you, Vijayji. Yes, Grihit.
So in the puzzle too, we should never have anything from that, and we should always have good qualities, and we should think before we act or talk.
Very nice. Very good, Grihit. Excellent. Who wants to share their understanding next? Yes, Akshat. Yes, Akshat.
If we have some bad things with us, we should identify it first, and then we should try to not to do that. And then, as we realize the truth, we should not be selfish and do selfless service. So, by doing this, we can attain Krishna. And if you be doing this seva wholeheartedly to Krishna, if any hard times come, Krishna will help you.
Very nice. Excellent, Akshat. Thank you so much. Yes, Hriday.
I understood that you gave an example of Krishna and Kamsa. Even Kamsa was a very good man. Because of his desire, anger, greed, pride, and attachment and jealousy became bad.
Very nice. Excellent, Hriday. It is in
Thank you.
fact true that all of us have that divine. And like Hriday said, it's being covered or blocked by these six elements. And all you need to do is get rid of these six elements. Very nice, Hriday. Excellent. Who
Thank
else
you.
wants to share their understanding? Vivan. Yes, Anya.
Ma'am,
Yes, Anya.
ma'am, I didn't wanted to say something. I wanted to say that I had to leave the meeting because my internet connection was unstable.
Sure. Sure, Anya. Who wants to share their understanding next? Swanandi.
Yes, Manya. Yeah, I'll share. First of all, what I understood is that all of us, even if like there is Krishna within us, due to the six enemies which we say as bad qualities, it turns ourselves impure, and that's the reason we say that, oh, this is a good person, this is a bad person. But then identifying and realizing what our mistake is and what we are doing is wrong, and then through seva, meaning helping others, we can purify ourselves.
Very nice. Excellent, Swanandi. Thank you very much. Sanvi, do you want to share?
Yeah, first I would like to say that this like today's class taught me that we need to be aware of our actions and we need to be able to identify between what we're doing is right or wrong. And then we need to, so if we realize whatever like we're doing, then we should focus on whatever doing right things and go to the path of dharma. And I also understood that we have six elements, bad elements in us, which are kama, krodha, lobha, moha, madham, ascharya. So these six qualities just hide our divine self. So we need to overcome these six qualities and focus on finding our divine self. Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you so much, Sanvi. Very good. Excellent. Who else want to share their understanding? Vivan, Dia, Disha. Vivan, do you want to share your understanding? Whatever you liked or you take away. Dia or Disha, do you want to share? Okay. Uh, Let us just read the meaning once more. To those whose minds are always united with me in loving devotion, I give the divine knowledge by which they can attain me. To those whose minds are always united with me in loving devotion, I've repeated the same. Just give me 1 second. Out of compassion for them, I who dwell within their hearts destroy the darkness born of ignorance with the luminous lamp of knowledge. So I hope this time, more at least the time that you first read it, I hope you understood the meaning better. With that, let's chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Please chant with me. Join your hands and chant on mute. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om.